wonders why the homie Forrest, why would even fly in for this show. I mean, he loves coming to Reptile Super shows, but Colette, right? Was that her name? Colette?
Yeah, Colette.
Dude, he introduced me to her. And, another reason why, Ramy and I are so good friends is because I got introduced to him by Forrest. And Forrest, as you guys know, was like really special to me, So anyone that Forrest introduced me to, and I got to meet him in person, right? It was at the Super shows when
It was at the Super show. It was the second one. The first one he did.
Right.
Because there's I have a couple girls that run my registration booth.
Right.
And the show was so big, and it was in Pomona, and this was his first show. He flew out, and then I said, I never got to meet Forrest. I'm going to go on Sunday and go to his booth and say what up to him. So I've never met him before.
Right.
I go, and his table's completely empty. Everything's gone. I said, oh my God, what happened? So I went back, looked in my book. I found his number, and I called up his cell phone, and his wife answers, Desiree.
Yeah.
And I was like, where's Forrest? Did he already leave? And she said, yeah, he sold everything on Saturday and he bounced. And I was like, wow. I guess he had ball pythons at the time. I'm not sure what he had. Would he have had ball pythons?
Yeah, he did. He had a ball python collection that he ended up selling for a lot of money. But yeah, he at the beginning time of all that, he was ball pythons was his game.
Yeah, so he sold out of all of them on Saturday and then ended up catching an earlier flight to go back to Florida.
Sounds like him.
Yeah, so I didn't even get to meet him the first show, so I made it a point to meet him at the second show. So, and that was your first time meeting him as well. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. What a treat.
And I see him, and he sees me, and I just smile, and I say, "What's up, Forrest?" He said, "What's up, Ramy?" It was like we just knew each other. It was cool, That's
kind of how it was with me and him too. Like I met him and Stephen Cush together, and we built such a bond because by then we were already doing the podcast too. Oh no! I met Stephen. What was that? After or before? I don't know, but it was like you said when I first ran into him and met them. We just talked like it was like nothing. You know what I mean? If we hung out before. Yeah. And it's crazy. That's the one thing I fucking love about this damn hobby is like, my kind of friends that I was building prior to the reptile game were like industry club friends, like going out party friends, right? And if you're like connected in a party scene, everyone's gonna like you, right? But a lot of friendships weren't genuine, and when you're down in a partying scene, you kind of see who your true friends are, right? I was down a lot in the party scene. I was up a lot too, right? But the thing is, like, I've actually built some legit lifetime, I feel like lifetime friendships coming into the reptile game. And I feel like really being in hands of people who are really looking out for my best interest. And I don't know if that's just what animals bring. I don't know. But how many people? I think it's not just animals. I think it's reptiles. Because when you tell somebody that you have a snake or you breed snakes, they're like, they always got that snake story or that reptile story. But if you tell people, yeah, I got a couple pit bulls, they're like, oh, cool. There's never a story that comes after it. There's always something intriguing about the reptile owner and a discussion about seeing a reptile, talking about one, Yeah. So it's so funny you say that. And I feel like that's been such a true thing to where that's why reptiles are becoming more popular. Like they said, we're in a time where our generation don't even want to take care of a dog nowadays because it's too much work. A reptile, you don't have to do so much work. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's crazy to think, because you got to think everyone. You got to think. Growing up, Matt, it was all about having a dog, right? Dog and cat, right? Even though I was different, I had a snake. I was all about snakes, but for the most part, every kid wanted a dog. It wasn't really an exotic pet. Maybe a hamster was a dog. But now you got to look at the nowadays. It's like completely switched around. Like I don't know. I feel like reptiles are such a popularity and such a demand now. Everyone's got a beardy or a chameleon. And I really feel like it's a good test to see if a kid's meant for a pet, because not everyone's meant for a pet. Sure. And if you can't take care of a fucking ball python, you shouldn't breed anything. I feel like, because I mean, that's a very straightforward. Like someone could tell you how to take care of it. Like a pet shop could give you hopefully good advice on how to take care of a ball python, and you could simply neglect those steps. That just means you're not meant to take care of an animal. And it probably still do fine. But no, when you tell people, the snake eats once a week, they're like, wait, once a week? Yeah. Okay, I can do that. It's like zero responsibility. Also with the housing market and the way it is and people downsizing and moving and, you can't do that with a dog or a cat. It's hard. Even places now, if you go to rent a place, they're like, what kind of dog do you have? What kind of cat? What kind of breed of dog do you have? It's just. That is a true fact. Like me and my wife we're ready, we're talking about buying a house, right? We're like real close and the market doesn't look as good as we want. So we're like, all right, what if we do backup plan? What if we have to rent? Like, let's be ready to rent. But I'm like, you understand we have 2 pit bulls, right?
Yeah.
And how the only reason why we got this place here is because I didn't go through no property management. I went straight to the owner and did my typical MJ closed and told them that they're paper fucking like certified like canine school, even though it was all bullshit. You know, dogs are a fucking pain in the ass. But seriously, we got so lucky on this place. And, you know, we're blessed to be here for 6 years, but now it's time to dip. And I'm like, you know, I told her, I was like, if we have to rent, I'm not worried about fucking the reptiles. I'm worried about how we could explain we have 2 pit bulls because the neighbor down the street might despise them or might be a cat lady or a bird lady or just somebody who hates dogs. But a lot of people hate fucking Rottweilers, pit bulls, aggressive breed dogs. That's why I don't want an HOA. You know, I'm trying to stay away from HOAs because they're going to give you a limitation on animals in general. And I'm trying to, I can't have limitations. I'm trying to bring my alpacas with me. Fuck. What am I going to do if I can't bring Tia and Tamara? Damn, I don't know what I do. You have space on your property? You want 2 alpacas?
I have space, but I don't want 2 alpacas.
Oh shit! Hey, but their wool's worth good money. I'm telling you, man. 1,500 alpaca each year.
Is there some kind of tax breaks or something too when you own animals?
Yeah, because it's what agriculture or something like that. Yeah, so it's any kind of farming gives you some sort of tax.
So you got to have them at your property. Then you claim them as dependents, or I don't know how you do it.
Whatever. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you. I mean, like the fact that the chickens I raise, basically the eggs are fed to my lizards. Like anything I put into the chickens is a write-off. Like anything that.
Do you ever eat the eggs?
Oh yeah, all the time. But I gotta be like, my wife is like pissed because sometimes I'll pull one that was there for like at least a week. I know it'll be like an eyeball or something in it, and she hasn't eaten eggs in a while. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I bet.
But you know they're good. You know, you just gotta be on top of your pool game. You know what I mean? And like I said, the farm life is something I'm very keen to. I don't mind it. You know, like working I can't tell you, man. I mean, I made it work for so long being a 9-to-5 guy because I wrote my own check. Like I was in sales, right? And then I avoided being in management because I was like, no, because then you're gonna be responsible for other people, and I'm just not a good person responsible for other people, right? And then sure enough, until I left the sales and went to management, that's when I was like, I am not corporate America. Like I am not built to work for nobody but myself, and probably that's it. And I knew that, you know what I mean? And I just didn't know what that was gonna be until coming into a fucking hobby like this, you know, which don't get me wrong, like it's not just the animals, like, you know, this room solely, you have green tree pythons, you have emeralds, you have boegas. None of this is, I have game plan to sell any of these animals. Like, this is more of an enjoyment. This is a delicacy, you know what I mean? I did learn a way with the ball pythons because how big of a need ball pythons are, because you understand this hobby's growing, right? And what are people first getting drawn to? A ball python Instagram photo. You know what I mean? I can't tell you how many people are just like hitting me up and like don't even have one snake but are willing to drop $3,000 on a ball python as their first snake. And I'm just like, do you want to really do this like to breed, or do you want it as a pet? They're like, this is such a gorgeous animal, I just want it as a pet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, that kind of has to tell you something right then and there, you know, like, I don't know, like America's fucking land of the goddamn opportunity, right? But really think about it, like we're doing something we truly love, you know, like, I mean, I love that I don't work for nobody but myself.
Yeah.
I mean, that could change at any moment. Like I could go back to fucking, I mean, I'm mentally prepared to go back to the 9-to-5 if I have to, but I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure that doesn't need to happen, you know? But
because you got a cool boss.
With the wife, she's being blocked right now. By the way, check out the sign, Reptile Super Show, September 11th, September 12th. It's going down Anaheim Convention. Pull up the website if you don't mind, just so they can just see where they can get tickets and shit like that. So for anyone out there who wants to know, like, how can you, because you got so many people like who I've been talking to who are at that level who could vend, like they're ready to vend, but they don't really know the first step. Like,
call me, I'm super cool. I don't bite. I tell
is
people,
that what you recommend? Is that talking to you?
Call me. Yeah, I totally help every single vendor. I have a personal relationship with every vendor, and just tell them like, hey, just call me up. Even the first time, I love hearing first time guys because I give them all the great pointers. You know,
right?
You know, but buy a nice tablecloth. Don't sit down during the show. Have a smile. Don't look at your phone. You know, like all this kind of, you know, and be ready and bring the snake. You know, I mean the netting over the booth. And you know, deli cups, where to get them. And you know, I tell everyone, you know, I enjoy telling them how to make their show successful.
I can't tell you how many times I've literally walked by someone's booth because the long look they had on their face, or they just didn't look like they want to be there.
Yeah.
So I feel like you looking like you want to be there and being engaged with people walking by is a huge piece of you being successful at that show.
I send out an email that explains, like, don't sit, have a big smile on your face, and welcome people. That's how you're going to be successful.
Can you give me the charger, Matt?
Thank you for watching this week's Trap Talk with MJ podcast clip. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. That way you're on top of every single Trap Talk clip that's released here every week. And that way you're on top of every single podcast that comes out every Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday here on the Trap Talk with MJ YouTube channel, where we bring all the hottest up-and-coming reptile keepers and all the most experienced, hottest reptile keepers in the reptile game. We will see you here next week with another Trap Talk clip, and we're out. Cheers!